This is the program that shows you the side of police chase videos they didn't want you to see. Bungled arrests, kamikaze crooks and cop-based carnage of all kinds. Welcome to Cops Uncut, the real car crash TV.
On my way.
Coming up on Cops Uncut. These officers get the order to fire at will. This cop hitches a ride, and this deputy gets down with the kids.
Taking off again.
When you're a highway cop, you're king of the road, which means that whenever you see a sign like this, you can blatantly ignore it. And then, just to prove a point, you can blatantly ignore it all over again. Sadly, the police aren't the only ones who think they rule the roost. The streets are full of wannabe road warriors out to challenge their supremacy. Take the guy in this car, for example, one Dante Jamal Henry of Findlay, Ohio. This menace to society is tearing up the tarmac and taking on the cops at their own game. Whatever it is this guy's done, he won't be going quietly because he's heavily armed and dangerous. And it's going to be a very bumpy ride. With a little help from this lorry driver, the police have laid a trap for him up ahead. It's the old spike strip routine, and surely this will slow him down. Instead, Henry makes a quick detour. The police think the spikes have worked, but they can put the champagne away for the time being because it's going to take much more than a couple of pricks to stop this guy. He's forced onto the grass verge by another cop-friendly driver. But he's not going to let an interfering old trucker slow him down. By now, Henry is starting to look superhuman as he sails through his second spike strip of the day. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him, and he's just chucking it right back. By now, half the Ohio State Police Force is on this guy's tail. They've tried stingers and rolling roadblocks, but he just keeps on going. Perhaps if their hastily improvised police cordons involved more than one car, he wouldn't be able to slip past quite so easily. He may be fearless and unstoppable, but even a superhuman crook needs to take a break for petrol and smacks. The police, however, have other ideas. The suspect wants to fill up his tank. The cops just want to fill him full of lead. Perhaps randomly firing off rounds of live ammunition at a petrol station isn't the best idea that these troopers have ever had. But things are getting pretty desperate, so they really let him have it. Cars have been trashed, shots have been fired, lives have been indiscriminately endangered, and still this guy won't stop. Obviously, this can't go on forever. With the odds against him, he finally runs out of steam and makes one last-ditch attempt at escaping. But now he's out of ammo and out of his car, his invincibility is gone. And what could possibly have sparked off such carnage and mayhem? It's hard to believe, but this highway hellraiser's original crime was nothing more than applying for a driver's license with a bogus birth certificate. Still to come in part 1. This cop goes van surfing, and this suspect gets some food for thought. It's a nice summer's evening in this sleepy American farming town, and the casual leg wear is out in force. The police have received reports that a goose has been stolen and are stopping locals to find out if they'd seen anything suspicious. As he questions this driver and his long-necked passenger, the cop's sixth sense tells him there's something not quite right about them. So he asks one of his police chums for a second opinion. They get the driver out of the car for a closer look and clearly don't like what they see. They quickly turn the suspect round to face the other way and call over yet another casually dressed cop for his opinion. Unfortunately, he's just as baffled as they are. There's something up, but no one can quite put their finger on it. The cops just don't like the cut of this bloke's jib and want to arrest him for something. So they slap on the cuffs, read him his rights, and prepare to take him downtown. The last of the Mohicans is off to the big house. His goose is well and truly cooked. His feathered friend, meanwhile, is let off with a warning. As a traffic cop, it's easy to get lulled into a false sense of security when a situation seems to be going smoothly. You may have safely pulled your suspects over to the side of the road and begun issuing them with a ticket. Everyone is following the correct police procedure. You and your partner may even start to feel relaxed enough to share a joke. Or perhaps compliment your suspects on their lovely A-Team style van. Let your guard down for an instant though, and something like this happens. One minute you're having a nice friendly chat. The next thing you know, you're hanging out of the car, being driven headlong into a wall at 30 miles an hour as shots are fired. If you're lucky, of course, your partner will know that to stop a suspect in his tracks, you can shoot him in the buttocks. So do remember, a smart cop never takes a situation at face value, because if you get too comfortable, you could easily find yourself getting a bit carried away. And that's enough to drive anyone up the wall. Class dismissed. No, this sepia-tinted footage isn't a trip down memory lane. This is a recent video of underage lawbreakers as they go joyriding in a stolen motor. It's a school night, so these teenage tearaways should have finished their homework and be safely tucked up in their beds. If they wanted to be rebellious, they could have just stayed up late, playing video games without their parents' permission. Instead, they've gone one stage further, hitting the streets to play Grand Theft Auto for real. But driving stolen cars is a game for grown-ups, so they decide to play park and hide. This is one activity that some kids are naturally better at than others. This one's got the hang of the hurdling aspect, but his less agile chum isn't so blessed with athletic prowess. And he knows it. He's decided that he just doesn't want to play anymore. Let's look at this sorry escape attempt again. If only he'd paid more attention in PE class, he could have got away like his buddy. Instead, he's going to be tackled by a large, angry copper and then roughly wrestled to the ground. His sporty friend is nowhere to be seen. These delinquents dared to play the cops at their own game, but they didn't know the rules. So they were all for the high jump. Hands up, who wants a thick ear? We're in the car park outside a Taco Bell in Oklahoma. The cop whose dash cam we're watching was so hungry that he's double parked, blocking in several other diners. Apparently, he couldn't wait to sink his teeth into one of those warm, cheesy burritos. And his selfish parking has upset a few people. Off camera, one of these angry customers has rightly complained. But no matter how right you are, it's never a good idea to lecture a cop about the law, especially when he's working on an empty stomach.
Get out of here, let's go on a ticket. You'll go to jail for obstruction of justice?
What he really means is obstruction of lunch, which isn't a crime yet, even in Oklahoma. Instead, he gives the protester a speeding ticket for doing 54 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. This is all very odd, as he's been stationary since the cop has blocked him in. And it's only made the irate driver even angrier because he returns for second helpings.
Get in the car! Get in your car!
You'd have thought that after being on the receiving end of a made-up speeding ticket, this bloke might have got the message. You don't mess with a hard-nosed cop. But he hasn't. Instead, the officer sees this as another opportunity to throw his not inconsiderable weight around.
Get in the car! Get away from me! Hey! Taco Bell!
If you ever have a point to make with the police, it's worth remembering that they can make theirs much more forcefully, and with a nightstick. For giving the cop a right mouthful, this irate citizen went to hospital and then to jail. He'll take extra care next time he goes for a takeaway. This could be some 80s arcade game with flashing lights and cheesy graphics. If the point of the game was to drive a stolen truck really badly into a police car, like this, then we'd be watching a master gamer. But this isn't a game, it's real life, and in real life you don't get another go. You get shouted at and told to lie on the ground as you start wetting your pants. You get an angry cop pointing his gun at you, itching to pull the trigger and bring you right back down to earth. Then there's another larger-than-life trooper to really rub your nose in it. Welcome to the real world. Remember, in real life, there's no such thing as a replay button. When it comes to playing games, it's the cops that have the monopoly. So you don't pass go, do not collect $200, just go straight to jail. Game over. It's a dark, spooky night. The police come across a ghostly figure alone on the highway. What sort of creepy creature goes shopping at 10 to 3 in the morning?
Calm down. Just gonna try to see where you're going.
I'm going home.
Okay, where do you live?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Was that Pennsylvania or Transylvania?
Would you leave me alone?
This wretched abomination is cursed to wander the world alone with her shopping. In fact, she's not a vampire at all. It turns out she's a banshee.
I'm gonna tell you something. You're not gonna be yelling at me. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you.
I just want you to leave me alone. I do not know you. Please leave me
I'm asking
alone.
for some identification.
I just sold everything I had.
Oh.
The people in Cleveland.
Shut up.
Well, that's one way to deal with a wailing woman. And despite her rather unusual behavior, the police very kindly offer her a free ride in the back of their squad car. Does this make her happy?
This motherfucking time, she had get sued.
Apparently not.
Okay, so you better run.
Her insults become more disturbing by the second.
Jackson ass. That's your eternity hell, bitch.
The cops try to pacify her, but she won't calm down. So they pop in their earplugs and leave their unholy passenger alone to curse in the darkness.
Fuck around, you gave me so many motherfucking names, you traitor.
Taking off again.
Still to come in part 2. This wrongdoer rolls with it, and this driver dances for the dash cam.
Taking off again.
You've all heard of a high-speed chase. Well, get ready for a low-speed one as we crawl down the highway like a rampaging glacier. The white pickup truck ahead is the getaway car of choice for this redneck. But tonight it may as well be a milk float. In case you're wondering, we haven't tampered with the footage. This chase really is creeping along at sloth-like pace. The laid-back thief in this pickup seems in no particular hurry to escape the law, even though they want to arrest him for stealing a lady's handbag. In fact, you could almost say that the suspect is rather bored by the proceedings. For all we know, he might even be asleep at the wheel. Suddenly, the door opens and the slow coach wakes up. He takes his life into his hands and bails. Very slowly indeed. Usually we wouldn't advise anyone to jump out of a moving vehicle, but technically this vehicle is barely moving, so it isn't a problem here. Once this slow-moving stuntman had jumped out of his car, he fell straight into the arms of the law. Drunk test dummies. Today's drunk test dummy is Jennifer Reddy. And Jenny's getting ready to prove to this Tennessee deputy that she's sober enough to drive.
All the instructions that I've given you, can you repeat them to me?
I have to hold up my foot.
How many inches?
But she'll have a tough time passing the exam when she can't even remember the instructions.
Until you stop.
Well, I tell you to stop. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead and begin.
I'm terrible.
All right, well, stop.
All right.
Stop.
2001, 2002.
Count aloud for me.
1.
All right.
All right,
Well,
you know I'm drunk.
okay.
I'm drunk.
Confessing to being drunk is no excuse, however, for not doing the drunk test. This is a serious business.
All right.
Though Miss Reddy thinks it's all one big giggle.
Begin. I didn't tell you to start.
I know, but I'm doing good.
Go back. Go back.
What's actually rather alarming is that Jenny here is a school bus driver who's 3 times over the limit and has just driven into a parked car. Apparently, she regularly endangers the lives of her young passengers by being plastered on the job.
See how my heel's touching my toe? 3, 4, 5. Imagine that there's a straight line right down through here. I want you to.
If anyone needs to go back to school, it's this woman who's not only having problems passing the drunk test, but also clearly has a few problems grasping the basics. Like understanding right from wrong. The suspect can be as giggly and flirty as she likes, but she won't be able to wriggle her way out of this one. And Jennifer had better get ready for more testing times ahead.
Taking off again.
If you're a smart cop, you'll stay in command of any situation by being calm, professional, and focused at all times as you follow police procedure.
Your driver's license, vehicle registration. I've got a report that you and another vehicle's been firing out here, chucking stuff back and forth at one another.
This officer starts well enough with a simple line of questioning.
So what?
He tries to get to the bottom of the reported highway hijinks.
I want to know what's going on between these 2 cars. I'm getting all kinds of complaints. People chucking stuff back and forth at one another out of these 2 cars.
But this tough-talking trooper starts running out of patience with the suspect's apparent lack of cooperation. So he decides to take a more direct approach.
Here you go. Get back in that car. Get in that car. Get in it. Get in it. Get in it. I can take a motherfucking car. Get in the car. Get in the car.
There are many different ways to keep a situation under control and get people to follow your instructions. Jamming a person's head in the car door is not one of them. Let's take a closer look. You can see why this maneuver is not recommended. Rather than calming things down, it's much more likely to turn the tide of public opinion against you. The cop backs off and puts his hand to his holster as an angry mob gathers. It could all have been so much smoother. If he'd refrained from slamming someone's head in a door, he might have kept the rabble at bay. Despite his brave words,
Situation is under control.
it's clear that this is not going to have a happy ending. If he does get out of this alive, perhaps the trooper will look back and realize why he suddenly became so very, very unpopular. So if you're a traffic cop and you want to stay in charge, by all means try to keep things as contained as possible. Just remember that moves like these are unlikely to win friends or influence people.
Taking off again.
There are times when we all question what we do for a living, especially at 5:20 a.m. when you're a tired traffic cop facing yet another suspected drunk driver. When something like this happens, it can really knock your confidence. Somewhat belatedly, Officer Roly-Poly takes cover. This simple traffic procedure has taken a nasty turn, and he must reassess the situation. Was it a drive-by shooting? A gunshot from a sniper? He tries to solve the mystery of this sudden attack. 1 minute he's walking to attend to his suspect's motor. The next he's hit by a UFO and down on the ground minus his hat and his flashlight. It transpires it was a shredded tire that flew from a passing truck and took the trooper out. The other driver looks around for the upset and distressed officer, but he's gone. All that's left is his hat. This well-fed cop fell foul of a random rubber missile. So it's a good job he had his own spare tire to protect him. So what have we learned today on Cops Uncut? Always get into the car before it pulls away. Youth is no substitute for brute force. And beware of strangers in the night.
You better run!
Be careful out there.